Hello and welcome to Naivety Gaming. I'm your host Matt, and this is the 51st week of Cheap Weekly Thrills. Make sure to like and subscribe. We've got a lot of great content coming on up, like Cheap Weekly Thrills, a year in review, where I have chosen your guys's and my personal favorites that have personal favorite games that we've played across this past year. They'll finally be coming out on October 5th, so make sure to stay tuned for that episode coming up. For those who don't know, Cheap Weekly Thrills is where I browse Steam and find games that have been released in the past week for $5 or less. And this week is the week of September 18th, 2018. We'll choose under $5. Now I'll introduce a quick little segment, since we are choosing some of our favorite games for $5 or less that have been released in the past week, but some of you guys might ask, why do we care about all these indie games when I could be buying, Polybridge or Undertale or Stick Fight the Game, which I'll include, I like to view some of our brand new indie games. I want to give them support and some exposure. However, I do concur that we should at least look at some other games, some more popular games that you can purchase for, $5 or less that are a little bit more well known. Would you look at that? Our favorite childhood game, Putt Putt, is back, so you can go buy that for $5 or less as well. But the big games for this week is Battlefield Bad Company 2 is 85% off for a astounding $3. Undertale is 50% off. Polybridge is 70% off. And Stick Fight the Game is just, $5. And interestingly enough, Stick Fight the Game was our first episode of Cheap Weekly Thrills, so a little bit of history for you there. But for this week, I've chosen a game by the name Thick Light 2. So Thick Light 2, this is the second part of the exciting casual game in which you have to overcome several labyrinths and escape from the guards. Can you get out of the labyrinths and deceive the guard? So this was released actually today on, September 16th, so it's a Sunday, and actually is on sale until next Sunday. Actually, that's a lie. I think that's Saturday. Yep, that's Saturday. My bad. So it's 40% off of, it was released at $1. It is now 40% off until the 22nd. So it's 59 cents. So that's a pretty cheap game, and I think you guys will enjoy Thick Light 2 by Rimma Filato. So let's jump on into things, and like I said, I think you guys will really enjoy Thick Light 2. So welcome to Thick Light 2. Immediately we can tell that there's not a whole lot of options, but this kind of game, it really doesn't need a whole lot of options. You've got your full screen, reset the score, you've got the mute button, continue, levels, and exit. So rather simplistic, but I think I'll only be doing maybe 3 levels today. I think that's the furthest that I've played, but you guys will see why in just a moment. This game is definitely, it's kind of like those Trials like games where you have to just keep trying until you can finally get to, get the perfect run. So it's kind of like one of those Prison Break games where you just have to keep going and keep trying until you get there. So as you can tell, you're playing as a little box. You've got your guard, which is currently not agitated or irritated in any way, shape, or form. You collect these weird kind of boxes and avoid this moving box down here. So the boxes will kind of initiate the opening of your little gate down here in the bottom right, for this level at the very least. So I purposely killed myself there so I could try again getting over here. I figured out starting with this box over here, about where the guard comes on in, is a good start. However, it's very interesting because when you get caught by the guard and you do escape him momentarily, you do actually freeze him in position, so I can imagine that there are a lot of players out there that can, you know, utilize that and use it to their advantage. So let me get here. Alright. So that was the first level. Now here's the second level. This one I found to be very interesting. There's this one little spot up here that you start in where I don't believe the guard can actually see you, and you can just kind of hide out here in this little nook. And from what I've been telling from, you know, future levels as well, is there's always just one tiny little nook kind of near the starting area where you can hide out. So a lot of these levels are going to be maybe not trying to be on the constant opposite edge of the guard, but seeing if you can go through and see if you can just scoot back to your nook really quickly without being caught. So I think I'm going to go now. So this down here seems relatively safe for the moment, apart from that little box. So our guard's coming over. Okay. So actually, I think this entire hallway is safe, which is nice to see. So already we've got 2 of those keys. Let's see where we can move our way over. I think I'm gonna go right about here for this guy. Gotta go fast. As our blue little hedgehog character likes to say, you know, Sonic. Anybody play that game? I've played it a couple of times. Ooh. Oh, I did not want this path at all. Also, as you guys could tell, there's a little speed boost that you can sit on and actually use. So let's see if I can. Oh, this is gonna be a close one. Oh, come on, come on, come on. All right, there we go. So I'll test out this one last level for you. This is I believe the farthest that I've gone. So as you can tell, you've got this light that goes right along where my character is now. So let's see where we can go. So traditionally, most of these levels, there's kind of like this main hallway down the middle that the guard likes to run through. So again, it's pretty difficult to be able to go back to this nook every time that you can. Oof. And also from the experience, whenever you're doing that, it's quite difficult to get multiple on the same run. Because if you try doing that, you're wasting a lot of time, and by the time that you're just finishing up the second one, the guard will be on his way. So that's one problem. If you do get caught, if you do get caught coming on up that little hallway, he will definitely track you down the rest of the way. So try to be very careful when taking care of those guys, those little door keys. Oh, no. And there it went. Alright. Give it maybe a couple more tries, because as of right now, I think you guys can kind of get the overall point of this game. In my mind, it's actually, yes, it is incredibly difficult, but it's not the kind of games that are rage-inducing, where you're just trying to play it over and over and over and over and over and over. I want to say about within the first 10 tries, you're able to get it pretty easily. Alright. Probably could have gone. Oh. I was about to say, I probably could have grabbed this one key over here, but every time I get caught on the way back, this is going to be my last attempt at this for you guys. I'm wondering if I can hide out in that hallway directly. Oh, come on. Hide out in that hallway directly below this one. I hadn't noticed that the guard had really... Ooh, that was way too close. Oh, I'm just not doing it well today. So I'll use my mouse cursor. I'm thinking that I could probably hide out over in here, this kind of hallway. In case if I can't get back to my home base up here. So let me see if I can... Got it. Alright. 2 more to go. It's our favorite 2. Yep, there we go. Actually, lie, I think I was able to get to the 4th level because I remember the 4th level being like a straight hallway with a bunch of little things off of it and had all 4 keys right in a row. So, that was actually a fairly quick episode of Cheap Weekly Thrills with Thick Light 2. Like I was saying, I actually really do like this game from a lot of standpoints. It utilizes a very different and new mechanic from most kind of escape the prison type games. A lot of them, they'll just have like a flashlight coming straight out, but in this way, the developers really put the time into experimenting with these different light levels and being able of them, the lights being able to be obscured by different angles, which I think is a really cool idea and really makes the game a lot more interesting. And of course, the guards are very methodical, they're very repetitive, so it's again, relating itself to the other games within a similar genre. It's finding the repetitions and figuring out where you can sit in the dark spots. So that was the 51st episode of Cheap Weekly Thrills, and make sure to like and subscribe. We can always use some more subscribers around here, and we've got a lot of great content coming on up that you guys will really like and really enjoy, so stay tuned. If you are an indie developer who is releasing a brand new game in the next couple of weeks, make sure to send me an email at matt@theextraneouszone. I'd love to be able to get in contact with you and be able to review your game so you can get more exposure, and I love to just play your guys' games. I know you guys have spent a lot of time, a lot of energy, and when you finally get out there to release a game and nobody plays it, it's just a really horrible feeling, I can imagine. So let me know at matt@theextraneouszone. Again, I'd love to get in contact and I'd love to play your game. So that was the 51st episode of Cheap Weekly Thrills, and I hope to see you guys next week in the 52nd week. I know for a fact we've already got a developer and their game lined up for next week, and I know you guys will really enjoy it, so make sure to stay tuned. And until then, take care. We'll see you guys later. So, bye-bye.